How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Projects Everywhere. I was reviewing the footage I had of changing this distributor out in this truck, and I decided to go ahead and reshoot this video because that's one of the reasons if I found out you don't come home tired and try to shoot a video. The footage it's crap. But what I did, I put the old distributor back in, and I'm going to show you some up close video on how to swap this distributor out. It's real simple. It's not hard at all. Alright, y'all, what we're replacing is a distributor, and I'm fixing to show you why I'm replacing this distributor. Alright, inside the distributor we got a rotor button, which is right here. If you look close down in that distributor, yep, this thing has got points in it. You heard it run good, but the one bad thing about points is it's basically a wear item. Those points, every time they open and close, there's an arc. And the little tits on them points, they'll wear out, they'll burn out. And your truck will start messing up. Usually it'll start messing up before it quits. But I really don't want to be stuck on the side of the road adjusting points. So, and the main reason it surprised me, this is a 1983 Ford. You've seen my old black 68 Ford. It has an ignition module on it. It's not points. So I'm pretty sure this is not the original distributor that was in this truck. So we've got a HEI distributor. I'm going to show you that now. HEI distributor. It has the coil built into the cap. It's vacuum advance. And basically it's a one-wire distributor, and you'll see the inside of it in just a minute. But what you want to do when you take this thing out, you do not take the plug wires, especially if it's not numbered. Don't take the plug wires off the cap until you get the new distributor in there, and you line that old cap up with your new distributor, and you take one off at a time and just put it in the same place. Now, if you're just swapping it out and the engine's running good, like I told you, my engine's running good, you don't really have to worry about getting number one cylinder on top dead center. The only thing you got to worry about is getting your distributor lined up exactly the same as it is, and getting your rotor button lined up exactly the same as it is. So basically, the easiest thing to do, you can take, this is a vacuum line. This is for your vacuum advance. You want to take this vacuum line off, and you want to look and just find something that this is pointing to. And see this bolt right here? That vacuum line right there is pointing almost dead at that bolt. So that's what we're going to use to line the distributor housing up with. You take the cap off, you look at the rotor button, and it fell really good this time because it's right in line with the vacuum advance. So when we put the new one in here, we want to make sure that rotor button is lined up with the vacuum advance. One other thing to think about, when you pull this distributor out, if you look at the teeth on the bottom of a distributor, you see how they're angled? As you slide this distributor up, this rotor button is going to rotate this way. So when you get it all the way up, the best thing to do is see where it stops, and then line your new one up whenever you go back down in with it, so it'll line right back up in the same place. On these old engines, you're going to have one bolt, and that's sun. Yeah, y'all can see. You're going to have one bolt that actually holds that distributor down. And it's one bolt right there, and there's a little clamp on the top of it, and it actually clamps down on the shoulder, and you can actually loosen that bolt up and turn the housing of the distributor to get your idle right. This one takes a 1/2 inch wrench, and you just take a 1/2 inch wrench and take it out. See, all it is a little, it's got a little shoulder on it, and that just holds it down in the engine, and that's all there is to that. All right, like I was saying, a lot of times you're gonna have to climb up on a truck. First thing you want to do is unplug the wires coming off your coil. You got a black wire and you got a red wire. The red wire comes from your key switch, and the black wire is actually coming out of your distributor. Whenever you raise this distributor up, if you'll watch that, see how it moves? Just pull it up out of that hole, and remember that when you put the new one down in there. On this new distributor, instead of the little clips, it's just got little L brackets that hold the cap on, and they're spring loaded. And you just push down and twist it, and it releases them. And this cap actually has notches in it too, so whenever you put it on, you pretty much, it'll only go on there one way. Alright, what seals the oil off, you got an O-ring right here. Whenever you slide it down in there, the O-ring actually holds the oil, keeps the oil from coming out. And here's that shoulder that that little piece holds down, that the bolt was in. Alright, if y'all remember, this is pointed at this bolt right here, and our rotor button has got to be aimed right there at the vacuum advance. And you remember it turns, so we want to put the rotor about right there and slide it down in there and hope for the best. Get it down in there straight and line your vacuum up and find that slot, and I found it, and slide it down all the way. Aimed at the bolt, and that's aimed at the vacuum advance, and we got that down in there. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to put this cap on here, and there's a notch right there, and then there's a notch in the housing right there. You just got to line that up. Line that up, and it should drop down in place. Right there. Alright, once it feels good and tight, take your screwdriver, you lock these little brackets down. And there's 4 of them. And that's what holds your cap down. Alright. As far as your plug wires, you take this cap and you basically set that cap back on there just like it was on there before. If you pick it up slightly, you can see the plug wires line up. Man, this is heck on your knees. Let me get turned around, get a little more comfy. Alright, so we're going to take one at a time off, and you might have to twist it a little bit to get it to pop off of there. And it really doesn't matter where you start, just make sure you go around in the same sequence. We're going to run that underneath the cap so it ain't. Actually, we're going to come around this way. Let's see. I don't want to do that. I'm going to bring it up under there. I got a little slack. And pop it down on there. And once you get them all on there, you might have to run them in a different fashion, but you just want to make sure they all on there in the same order as this other cap. Go back around this side. And that's your coil wire. The one in the center is your coil wire. We're not even gonna have to worry about that no more. Once you got that last one off, you know that one goes right there. So like I said, you see how these are ran. I think I'm gonna run this one on the other side. So I'll pull that one off and bring it around this way. Ain't got much more room over there. We're gonna run it right under here like this. Yeah. That's more better. Alright. We'll run this one underneath. See how I'm doing this one at a time. If I can get it in there. Alright, make sure they're all clipped on good. Alright. Now, we got our electric plug back here, which this plug is coming out of the distributor, and it plugs right in underneath this cap. I'm gonna plug it in, and I forgot to show you, but there's two wires here, and basically you got a 50-50 shot. There's two. Well, you could look at the top. One of them's negative and one of them's positive. This is a one wire alternator, so all you need is a hot wire, because the housing of the distributor actually grounds through the block. So we're gonna take this red wire, and I just got a regular old spade fitting on it. It's actually made to put a plug, a special plug, but we ain't got no special plug, so we're just gonna use a spade fitting. And you reach under there and you plug it in. It's a lot easier if you do it before you put the cap on. Alright, it's plugged in. And we take our vacuum line, which comes from the carburetor. This is for your vacuum advance. We're going to put our vacuum line on here. And then you notice I did all this before I tighten the bolt up. You want to make sure you got that vacuum advance lined up with that bolt right there. And now you can put your little clamp back on there. A lot of vehicles, it's hard to get to this stuff, but these old vehicles, you got plenty of room to do whatever you want to. You can just about climb up in the engine compartment with it. I've done that many, many times. And you snug her up. You ain't got to be Hercules on this boat. You just want it snug, so it don't move. It's good and tight. And now as far as this coil pack right here, we don't even need that coil pack no more, so we can take it off. We're going to take it off and get it out of here. We don't need that no more. The wire come off of my temperature gauge. Of course, I guess that really don't matter. I ain't got it working yet. But we getting there. Slowly but surely. Y'all hang in there with me very long. You're going to see me pull this engine out because the front and the rear main seals is leaking. And that's going to be a little more involved. But it's got to be done. Alright. We're finna try this thing out. I'm going to tell you just like I did in the other one. I ain't cranked this truck in at least a week and a half, 2 weeks. Alright, got the keys. Let's see. Like a kitten. I hadn't got that electric fuel pump. I'm planning on putting an electric fuel pump on it, but this thing's got a manual fuel pump on it, so it takes a minute for it to get the gas up to the carburetor, but it didn't take long, as y'all saw. I didn't cut any of that out. So, well, that's it for the distributor. I hope this was informational to y'all, and there's going to be many more forward videos on the way.